Okay, hello everyone. So yeah, this is part 2 of the official bankroll challenge. So we've cashed in the rate back, so we're sitting on our actual bankroll 175. We started on 190, and yeah, so I think we finished last episode on 175, and we're on 175 still. So let's just go over what happened. I think this is a really good way of going over it. So this is playing at 2x speed. And yeah, just it's really fast paced, so that's good. So aces in the top right, just kind of chunking this in. Cold call in the small blind is normally really like small pairs, which are just completely crushed. This is pretty big, but I'm just going to punt it in. Queens. So I didn't really have a read on this guy at this point. All I knew was that he played a lot of hands. So he leads, and 4x is like a really hard card to hold, so I'm just going to punt this in as well. The sevens we get limply raised, so yeah, punt in the queens, and we have the best hand. I don't know what that guy was doing, but it's a good read to have for later. So we get limply raised with the sevens. I think it's a pretty easy call. When he limit raises then checks twice, I don't think he can call a jam, so I just kind of go for a small sizing. He's basically said he's got a load of bluff catchers, and against bluff catchers I like to bet small when I have a value hand, just because I want to induce them to call a lot, and then I'd probably jam a bluff there. So yeah, it's unbalanced, but it seems to be working really well from an exploitative point of view. Same with the 10 deuce deuce. It's really hard for him to have a deuce, and bad cards can come out. He has like king 10 scare cards like a queen or a jack. So again, I just raise and we get a fold, which it's okay. It's not great. It's not awful. I decided to bet the sixes on queen 10 deuce because we can fold out sevens through 2 9s. I thought that was a good justification for c-betting that. The aces, I just bet most of the time, not always, because it's about as favourable a board as you can get. Not expecting them to have deuces all of the time, nor fives, and obviously pocket kings is unlikely. So I'm not sure. So when I do check regarding my mixed strategies, I'm not sure whether I should be check raising. Like, I think this is a fine spot to check raise. I don't expect us to be beat very often. And it will get us out of some sticky situations on rivers, so I'm not sure whether I should be check raising here. No, I don't think I can check raise with any of my range, because I would hate to check raise and fold a flush draw, but then again, I would never expect him to jam in position with much of his range. I have to think about that one a bit more, because I could check raise here quite easily. So I think I did mix it, but I'm not sure. And then I have to make the unfortunate laydown on the river. I don't think we beat enough. I'd call aces with a spade, but no spade. I think we can just fold. The 6-4, I just tried to. Probably should just pot it, or maybe a small overbet. I mean, sure, it's hard for him to have 6-4, so I could push off. I could jam all of my 4s to push off a chop maybe, but yeah, I don't think it's the max EV play. Maybe, I'm not sure you can fold a 4 for that size of a jam. So yeah, I've been trying 1/3 pot against big blind defends. Seems to be going okay. So we check raise the ace 10. I think it's a really good play when he should be c-betting king queen at a really high frequency. And because we did flat ace 10 suited, it's pretty reasonable we could flat king queen suited at some percent, and also 6s and 4s at some percent. So I think we had some kind of ace king hand going on. We 3-bet. Oh yeah, we just get a call. Do we just c-bet and take it down? Probably, yeah. I think that sizing's okay on an unpaired board and pretty wet. Felt like it was a bit big, but board was pretty wet in reality. So we get check raised on. I mean, that just doesn't make any sense, so I don't really care about bet folding that. I would bet call all of my 7x. I'll never understand players who check twice and then check raise, well, check flop and then check raise turn. It makes no sense. Maybe it's just good for a bluff, I'm not sure. Sixes, I think I can do both. Call or fold. The pocket fives, I showed some restraint versus the undergun. I don't think this guy's ever bluffing, and like nothing good can come from our hand. And calling versus under the gun is pretty strong range. Okay, sixes, sevens, and eights. I'm not sure whether we should bluff the sixes. I think we should bluff the sixes straight away on the flop. 10-9-5 is a really good board for this player, our position. I'm not sure what happened with the 5-6 off. I think we just have to give up. Yeah. So it looks like we'll just win with the sixes anyway, which is a decent outcome, I guess. And yeah, we flopped the joint with a low frequency 3-bet. I think I was 3-betting this about 25% of the time. And yeah, you check raises kings, which is just like, what are you doing? Maybe it's good at these stakes, I've got no idea. No ace, check jam. That's just the line. So yeah, let's see how far we're through. Damn, we're about 10% of the way. I might need to go even faster. Gee, that's not really a possibility. I'll just keep going for 20 minutes and see how much we get done. So yeah, we have ace king against the guy who led the 4-4-5 board. So I'm just going to chunk in ace king. Maybe I'll leave some hands to not play. This spot with the jacks is so gross. Like, it's just such a dirty spot. I hate that spot so much. So I think if I hate this spot so much, I think I should be flatting a lot of like slow plays at like maybe half the time or more. Well, half the time's probably more than enough, but like this guy's never bluffing here, and like jacks, they don't beat any value hands, so I think I just fold. Yeah. And with the sevens, 3 ways, we put in a big squeeze, I believe. And we have a pair and a gut shot. The cutoff can have some big pairs, and the small blind can also have some pairs, but I just thought there'd be enough draws in the range, especially when we just get a call on a fairly wet board. I felt like he should really draw heavy as opposed to set heavy. And he did have that hand, and like, yeah, that hand's doing just, it's not even a call on the flop in my opinion. Like, it's obviously a shame that he beats my hand, but you know, a lot of the time a 10x and a 9 aren't going to be good. Maybe I should have played that differently, but I felt okay about it. Could maybe float the king queen, but I just felt like he can have a set just so easily. I'd like a small c-bet with the king queen. Yep. Small c-bet there is good as well. So yeah, I think we'll just go for the thin valley bet or whatever. Could maybe go bigger, but I didn't want him to potentially check raise me. But then again, I shouldn't plan for worst case scenario. I should plan for like the average case scenario, and I think it's kind of borderline with a king jack calls again, especially because ace king could actually flat in that situation. We just have to give up the king 10. I think that was 3 ways on the flop. I don't think I have to c-bet this. Yeah, I think 3 ways I should really tighten up. It's way more likely someone has a piece of it, and on a board like that, having a piece of it is like pretty easy. And on the turn as well, although we improve a bit, I don't think we ever get a fold. So I'm not sure. I think I could improve my line there. The tens, I think I should be mixing. I should have bet this turn. This was a mistake. So yeah, I felt like he had a lot of ace highs. When we get re-raised, I'm obviously pretty happy. I don't do something stupid like jam, but I do pot it and get paid. He did check back twice with, oh yeah, so he did have ace high. At the time, I remember thinking, wow, it's got to be a mistake to check back such a big draw, but I don't really think it is anymore. I think he can check and win, so it's fine. Right, let's try going at 3x the speed. So we have a king. So we face a pro pot with king jack off, and we just call. Having the jack's actually pretty useful because it actually blocks some two pairs in sets as opposed to having aces. And we do get checked to here. Queen 9 suited does get there, which I'm not sure he's expecting me to have a ton of, but I think he's maybe showing restraint, or maybe he's going for the check raise, so I do think betting is too greedy. I think we win here a ton, so I do have, I think I can go bigger. I think I can go to like 60. I do get fold. I'm just going to see what happened with the king. Okay, so we just bet the turn and take it down. The bottom right table. So we check call the 6-8 suited, okay. So I think he's got a lot of like pocket 8s through to pocket 10s. I don't want to scare them off completely, so do go kind of small. And he had ace king suited, so that's kind of whatever. Yeah, I think top right we just ran into queen jack, so we just fold that one. And like, if you compare this session to yesterday's session, I think so far I've made like 1 or 2 mistakes, barely any. So definitely feel like I'm playing a lot better in this session. I think these small c bets on the river, or small bets on the river, are really good for getting paid when villain has a bluff catcher. So yeah, this was a6 suited was a low frequency flat. I think I was going to say I was going to call ace5 deuce at some percent, but it wasn't this time, because we can, you know, turn and river some pretty good draws. So yeah, we have, yeah, this hand was from 2NL off screen, and basically queen jack raises the flop. I keep missing the moment where they raise. It's going by too quickly, and then we just station, and he value owns himself. Should probably value bet the ace-8 off. I think ace-8 off is a good enough hand on that turn card. This guy's a massive nit. I know the HUD isn't up. Maybe I'll change that in future, but I think I'll leave it as it is. I think the HUD can be confusing. So he checked back flop and then delay bets the river. I think I probe the turn as well. So I just don't think we have a good here versus nit. The ace jack off. I remember this turn card. I wanted to keep my range uncapped. I didn't want to check back and for him to just probe his entire range. So I do go for a double barrel. And maybe we just get a chop sometimes, and I don't think bluffing river is a viable strategy, so yeah, I should probably make sure I RNG that as well, but yeah. So we're against a short stack with the a6 suited, and against Chazza, he's a bit crazy, so we're definitely sticking around with him in. He could have anything really, or at least a draw. It looks like he's got a draw here, so I'm pretty comfortable against Chazza, but and then Silja's kind of representing like pocket 8s type thing, which makes sense, and yeah, he does have pocket 8s. River is close if we're going to bluff catch, because they could have queen x of clubs, but yeah. Okay, so we have a king. Yeah, just let it go. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why Finn doesn't bluff this, but we somehow win, which is good. With the ace 8. So yeah, just still plowing along. So yeah, it's 15 minutes. So I don't think we can finish this whole video, but yeah, more or less this video was so yeah, we finished break even. We did run into some 2 pairs, ran into sets like twice, like ace 4 suited on ace 8 4 with a flush draw, and we were no good, and in a 3-bet pot ace deuce against pocket 7s on ace 7 deuce rainbow or something. It was really unfortunate. I decided to peel the gut shot here because we're 200 bigs deep, and I felt like if he's super strong, we probably have maximum implied odds to win the whole stack. So yeah, the king 8 I was thinking about maybe. Alright, we lag here, so that was unfortunate. We just folded everything, I believe. So yeah, the 5, the jack 9, this is pretty reasonable, but maybe I could fold this on the river. So we check call once, which is fine, we check call twice, which is fine, but then he's still betting, and I mean, I can easily have 5x here, so I don't have to call my 9, but a 9 is really damn strong. So did I check call the flop? If I check call the flop, then I'm happy with it. Okay, I think I just have to station there. If he rivered some kind of queen, then so be it. 10 jack suited. Yeah, we're just gonna 3-bet fold that. It sucks, but yeah, it's just a frequency play. I think I was gonna call it like 25% to the 4-bet. So yeah, if you guys have watched this one and the first one, if you let me know which one you prefer with the, I know it's not real time, it's sped up, but whether you prefer going through the hands in Hold'em Manager or going through them in real time at a fast speed, because this does feel a bit rushed, but I'm used to doing everything a bit rushed. And I just think there's something you can't take away from like watching a hand in real time, or at least play out. I think watching hands in a vacuum in Hold'em Manager is kind of like just whatever. I think I can do both with the 7-9 of clubs, c-bet or check back. Yeah, the chat gets a bit more chatty. Today it was like tons of people messaging on the 2NL as well. Could maybe float against Chazza, but meh. So we call ace 10. I think I should be folding this turn. I remember this hand just killed me. I just feel like he's gonna have ace king like every single time. Like no one bluffs that spot. So yeah, I think the turn I can just fold. No one will ever bluff that turn card. It just doesn't happen. You'll never see ace queen at 5NL for that line. So we get 4-bet again. It's really annoying. I feel like we're getting re-raised quite a lot. So we face a pot and we just fold, I think. And I don't know why this guy min raises turn, but yeah. Oh, so we 3-bet 4-8 suited, I believe, and we flop 2 pair. He leads, we re-raise. So we just fold the jack 8 off and we fold the ace 10 suited. And he just is donking his mind out. So yeah, we just get in. Like on the turn, I'm not too afraid of a flush draw. Like if he has a flush draw in a 3-bet pot, so be it. So just chunk it in. Ace 8, we just win, so that's nice. I think I said I'd call this half the time, the king queen. And we do turn pretty big. And he min 3-bet 10 jack off. So we win there. I've got no idea how this wasn't a winning session. I feel like we've picked up way more stacks than we've lost, like by a long way, but maybe there were just a couple of 2 pairs of V sets which we lost. Alright, so we're 20 minutes in now. Alright, so I think this is long enough. I mean, it's a shame we didn't get to finish the session, but you know, these sessions can't go on They can't go the whole distance, but wait, why does that show 1 through 3? Oh, okay, so hang on. Okay, so it always overrides, because on my screen it says 133 because we hadn't cashed in. Oh yeah, so right now we would have been on 183 if I just drag this over here, because we hadn't cashed in the rake back yet. Then I think we just lost a couple of Cwlrs. Oh, so we can actually track what we were on. Okay, let me do this so we can see where we lose some money maybe. Okay, so we're on 128 now. Yeah, so we just get grinded down. I do remember getting tired as well, so let's see if I can find some pots where we lose a big one maybe, and then we can call it a day. Right, so we seem to lose a sort of big one around here. So yeah, we had some disconnect issues, and that's why one of the tables just kind of disappeared. So we see about the jacks, let's take it down, that's good. So I think it was on off screen. Oh, okay, so yeah, it might be the ace 5 suited versus the ace king. Yeah, he flats a 3-bet and just goes check call, check check, and he check calls again. I was just like, okay, so that was a bit boring, but then we lose another 150 somewhere. That's probably 2NL. So yeah, regarding 5NL, oh, this was pretty gross. So in a limped pot, we have 4-7 off. We flop 2 pair. I kind of wanted him to be trapping, but then on the turn, like, something gross happens. And I just think there's no way he jams aces here, and he only jams kings, so we just let it go. But yeah, that one hurt a small amount as well. So yeah, that dropped us from a bit. Pick up some other pots. We lose another 2NL stack, I think. Okay. So yeah, I'll just call it a day now. I don't really think so. We're kind of stationary. It's up to the end, but we cashed in the rake back, and yeah, we're at 175. So I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoy being kept updated. And yeah, I'll see you next time.